All right, man, peace. So, star guard of the Golden State Warriors, Klay Thompson, recently sat down and shed some light on how he perceives his role to be integral to the Golden State Warriors. And he's also going to show how important having the right attitude is for the overall success of the collective. Anyway, let's see what he's saying. Of course, I'm going to chime in.
We tip off this week's show by taking you into the action with Klay Thompson of the Golden State Warriors. The three-time All-Star already has 2 championship rings, but remains driven to make the most of any opportunity.
And Klay Thompson is a Hall of Famer also. Let's establish that very quickly. All right, he's a 3-time All-Star. He's probably, 27, 28 years old. By the time his career is over, he's probably going to have 4 championships, maybe 5. He's going to go to the Hall of Fame. And he's going to display what's really integral in the formula for a championship team, which is the total lack of envy or jealousy. Security is extremely important to success.
Believe it or not, the window to win a championship, I don't know how long that will be open. You got to make the most of it while you can. There's so many hungry teams out there, so many guys want to win a championship. We know we have a championship window, but nothing's ever guaranteed in this league. You saw that in 2016, up 3-1 in the finals. Stuff happens, so.
Kudos to him for mentioning that. That shows you the level of perspective that he has. This is a guy who has scored 60 points in 3 quarters. You never once hear him talk about him getting his, or what he can do in the league, or I have to show people what I can do. Once again, also, please understand, Klay Thompson is a person who comes from a home with a strong father. Michael Thompson, former power forward for the LA Lakers in the late 80s, who himself was, if I remember correctly, a number 1 draft pick. All right, the Lakers had 4 number 1 draft picks on that team, that 88 team that won the championship. The 87 team also, I believe Michael Thompson was on. Magic Johnson, James Worthy, Kareem, and Michael Thompson were all drafted number 1 in their respective draft classes, if I remember correctly. But Klay Thompson is somebody who is extremely secure in himself. And when you have security on that level, that's one of the main reasons why Golden State is so successful. All their players are extremely secure. The only one who has any security issues, or insecurity issues, I should say, is Kevin Durant. And because he's in an environment with so many players who are secure in themselves, it allows for him to be at ease with a lot of the inadequacies that he may feel within himself as a person. Because between Curry and Klay Thompson, both those guys are extremely secure. That's why they can be on a team with a Draymond Green, who has a very strong personality, but comes out of a very emotional environment with his mother, being dominated by his mother. But because both Klay and Steph Curry came out of environments dominated by a man, they can deal with that emotional instability and balance it out.
Happens, so we realize that we want to be a dynasty. We want to leave a legacy of one of the greatest teams to ever play this game.
You see how focused he is on establishing a dynasty? That tells me that he's never going to leave Golden State. That tells me that he's willing to take less money to stay in Golden State. And if your mind is on the bigger things, please keep in mind that in that area, in the Bay Area, their owner knows how to get them money off the court. All right, off the books also, per se. Meaning what? Not that it's going to be illegal money, but he can hook them up with different contracts with startup companies and software development companies where they can get even more money than they would get anywhere else. And he just won't be involved in the official version of how they made those connections. But this segment really impressed me in regards to Klay Thompson and how he expressed himself. But I expected that because he's always shown himself to be a very, very balanced and a very, very stable-minded person. You can tell by how he deals with the women, right? Every 2 months you see him with some new hot chick, and then he just removes them when they don't act right anymore. So he really seems to understand himself.
Golden State, incredibly, the quest has begun for a 3rd championship over the last 4 years.
I trained a lot this summer. Tried to come into camp, set a tone, like I'm here to...
It looked like the other guy running up the stairs with him was Draymond.
build off last year. I'm still hungry.
Thompson gets a little bit of airspace. That's all he needs.
And let me say this, Golden State, for all of the attention that they get for their shooting prowess, what impresses me the most about Golden State is their conditioning. They literally wear teams down over the course of 4 quarters with their style of play and their conditioning. Those guys, Steph and Klay and KD and Draymond, they get stronger as the game goes along. And that's very, very important. Their conditioning level is, bar none.
That's now 66 consecutive games with a Maze 3, the #1 active streak in the NBA.
Try to tighten up my ball handling. Worked on my pump fake.
Thompson was reading fly, able to hit.
I don't really want to change much that I've done the last 3 years because results does getting 3 straight finals.
Absolutely. Once again, that's a sign of security. There's no need to tinker with something that's already working.
Finals. I just try to be as consistent as I can be.
They pull for each other, they care about each other, and they play for each other.
Our chemistry is great because we got guys who just put winning first. It starts at the top with Steph and Kevin.
Now, you see what he said? Now, when you pay attention to what he said, basically, we don't have any selfish players. In other words, everybody knows their place. We don't have any me-first guys. And he said it starts at the top with Steph and Kevin. Now, he's been there longer than Kevin Durant. If he was a different type of personality, he could have said, well, who the fuck is Kevin Durant to try to be over me? Now, if you remember when Kevin Durant first came there and they asked him how it was going to change his game, he said it wasn't going to change shit. In other words, he understood he was still going to get his in the Florida offense, not that he was going to try to bogart shots away from Kevin. So just for him to acknowledge Kevin and Steph as the top of the team, which for most people, you'd say is common sense, but for many NBA players, especially players on his level, if they're insecure, they would have said, well, you know what? I think I have to go find my own environment. I don't think that I need to be here anymore because I have to go find out, what I can do on my own. Now you have certain guys like a Kyrie Irving who said to himself, you know what? I need to go spread my wings somewhere else. But as I've stated numerous times, I believe that had much more to do with LeBron than with any form of insecurity. I believe that Kyrie felt like he had to get out of that environment because I think that him and LeBron's personality just didn't mesh. That's why I stress the importance of being in an environment where you have players like a Klay and a Steph who come from strong backgrounds with masculine energy, and they know how to balance out people who might not necessarily come from those same backgrounds. They're able to take in a Draymond because the collective of that team can deal with his personality. And it's not as oppressive as a guy like a LeBron, where Kyrie probably felt like he had to get up out of there. I think that once again, I believe that there is a lot to that LeBron and Kyrie narrative that people probably won't know about until years down the line.
Those guys are very unselfish. They don't let their egos get in the way of anything.
Hey, he said it himself. They don't let their egos get in the way, meaning people are more worried about the success of the team than collective shine. And, this is what I say about LeBron. LeBron is a great, great player, but he's a player who is a stat sheet player. What do I mean by that? He's concerned about making sure that he puts up the most impressive stat lines so that 20 years from now, when people look at his career, they didn't see the game, but they'll see 33, 12, and 11, and they'll say, oh, wow, he played, even though they lost 4 games to 1, look at what LeBron did. Like, when you watch some of these other players playing today, you understand that they could do more numbers-wise, but they will give that up in order to win. That's another thing that I believe that Kyrie sensed in regards to why he had to get out of there.
And they do what's best for the team. And when you have 2 guys like that...
And look, I'm sure that a lot of the LeBron superfans are going to say, well, how could you say that? He's been to 7 straight finals, 8 straight finals, how many it's been. When you get to the elite level of competition, a lot of times it's not about what you do, it's about what you don't do. That makes a difference. And once again, when I watch the Cleveland Cavaliers play, I see a team that's going to burn out at the end. I see a guy in LeBron James who's trying to go too hard and trying to prove that at year 15, he can still do what he did at year 1. And I think that it's going to show late in the playoffs, either in the conference finals or in the finals.
It's like a trickle down effect. It just goes all the way to the 15th guy on the bench.
They have the chemistry of a high school team. Yes.
Hey, he said that the attitude of their top players trickles all the way down. They say attitude reflects leadership.
That's so positive.
We realize winning trumps all, and when you can win a championship, it literally uplifts the city. And you can't really get that feeling anywhere else in life. So that's what we're chasing.
Hey, this is why I stated what I stated in the previous video when it came to Scottie Pippen, calling him an all-time great role player. A lot of guys jumped in the comments and, oh, how could you call him a role player? He was a partner to Jordan. He did. Look, a role player is not about how talented he is. It's about the place, the pecking order on the team. If you're not the alpha on the team, you're a role player. You have role players in the history of the NBA who are top 50 all-time players. Kevin McHale is a top 50 all-time player. He played a role. He was not the alpha. He was not the lead guy. Kevin McHale was not going to lead a team to a championship. Scottie Pippen could not lead a team to a championship. Okay? Now, Klay Thompson is a Hall of Famer, but I think that he understands that he's not an alpha. He does not have that personality. He likes to sit back and, be a supplementary star, supplementary superstar even. When you have a guy who can score 60 points in 3 quarters, that is a supplementary superstar. And he's comfortable in his skin, and he loves who he is, which is very, very difficult for most people. Most people don't like who they are. And it comes out through envy and jealousy and malice and trying to provoke other people, trolling per se. So this is why they have such a great mix in Golden State. All right. But anyway, peace.